And welcome back to me talking about whatever I want. Today I want to talk about something that is a little shocking. If anything, I guess I could say I'm more shocked that it's not a bigger issue. But before I get into that, I'd like to do my comment shout out. Actually, instead of shouting out a comment from yesterday's video, this comment shout out actually goes to Hawkspire. That's right, I'm shouting out a whole YouTube channel because Hawkspire, my friend Julian, actually helps me go through and find the majority of the images I'm going to be showing on screen. And together, he and I looked at thousands of images for this video to work. And of course, for safety's sake, I have to say, there's going to be addresses, faces, private information. However, I censored all of that because while these people are basically responsible for doxing themselves, I don't want to go and then in turn dox them further. So this video is not meant to call out the people in question. It's meant to call out Lightshot. All right, so Lightshot is a screenshot program, and as you can see, it's some pretty standard looking stuff, right? Basically, you know, when you take a screenshot on your computer, it doesn't really go anywhere. You have to paste it somewhere. And on top of that, if you want to just snip a specific part of your computer, then you have to use a snipping tool. Long story short, it's a lot of work for something that Lightshot makes a lot easier. I don't know the exact number of people who have downloaded Lightshot, but from what I can tell, it's a ton of people who use this on a daily basis. It's been around for over 10 years. And it's useful for things like Discord because when you take your screenshot, Lightshot will create a URL for it. So at the top of the page, it'll always say prnt.sc/ a random string of numbers and letters that makes up your image. 6 characters. I held up 7 fingers. 6 characters. That's it. So if you type any string of 6 numbers or letters in the URL, you're probably going to wind up with somebody's screenshot. And people are posting a lot of sensitive information, which I'm going to go through. So Julian kind of categorized all the images into various folders for me, and probably the most we had were private conversations. As you can see, we're getting them from like WhatsApp, Discord, Skype. Some of them are funny, most of them are harmless. I mean, it's a little weird to type up random numbers and see somebody's out of context Discord message from 2 years ago, but in my opinion, where things start getting creepy is when we get into the selfies. For some reason, people screenshot other people's faces a lot, like kind of a lot. My guess is they're coming from like Facebook or something. I don't know. The thing is though, it's a huge violation of privacy because let's be honest, the person whose face is being screenshot, what's the past tense of screenshot? The person in the screenshot doesn't know that somebody has used Lightshot to take a capture of their image, therefore uploading their image to Lightshot's website. Thousands upon thousands of people now have their faces just floating around on Lightshot. And as we go into the video, you're going to realize that publicizing things without people's knowledge or consent is pretty much the largest issue with this whole debacle. But it gets a bit weirder than that because while most of the selfies were adults, a lot of them actually were kids. So these are like school age kids, you know, some of them are really small, and it really makes me question like, why are people screenshotting pictures of kids? I mean, in all fairness, it could be kids screenshotting their friends or something, not understanding how Lightshot works and that this information is on the internet. But yeah, parents out there might have pictures of their kids floating around without knowing, just available to anybody. Again, I would say that's another huge issue with Lightshot. It doesn't just affect the people using it. Like if your son Timmy Snapchatting his friend Jimmy, and then Jimmy just screenshots that using, actually wait, Snapchat's not on PC. If your son Timmy is Skyping his friend Jimmy, I know how communication works online. I definitely have friends, and he uses Lightshot for that. Now he's not only affected Timmy, but Timmy's parents, because I'm sure you could work harder enough to, you know, prevent your kids from making bad choices online, but how can you prevent other people from screenshotting them in private context? Really, like the harder I think about Lightshot, the creepier it gets. It's kind of like a secondhand privacy violation for everybody involved. Also, there were babies, like literal babies. And why are you screenshotting a baby? Full disclosure, anytime I screenshot somebody's face, it is like 1000% to show it to other people who have no other way of seeing that person easily. So like, in what context does that make sense to apply to a baby? Now, again, some of this could just be people not understanding how Lightshot works and that they are literally capturing everything and putting it on the internet just a click away with each screenshot they take. And I can tell people don't know that they're doing that because there were also a lot of not safe for work pictures. It's like a weird mix of not safe for work content and content that's not necessarily, inappropriate, but was clearly not meant to be posted online. Most of these were just straight up from Skype. So that private Skype conversation you thought you were having with your bae, she screenshotted and now you're just on the web. I also saw a lot of people screenshotting their own computer files, which congratulations, your files are now on the internet. Honestly, I saw so many pictures of people that I don't think anyone intended for anyone to really see, but now they're on the internet. Also, one of the computer file screenshots had a bunch of photos of somebody in like a bikini, like a lot of bikini pics, but they looked really young. So I'm just gonna move on. Yes, of course, why wouldn't there? One of them was straight up from Skype, so rest in peace to that guy. I don't think any of those guys were aware, but it happened. But hey, if they were like unsolicited photos or videos, then I guess that's kind of what you get. So kind of shying away from the photographs, of which there were many, Lightshot has a ton of addresses, just straight up physical addresses, like with people's full name, like John Smith, 123 Pleasantville, zip code and everything. And not just the US either. I saw addresses from all over the world. Most of them are from online orders. So like their shipping addresses that people are screenshotting for some reason. I guess they're trying to like make their own receipts, but in the process, they are uploading their address to the internet. Also, I will say one of these receipts was for $8,000 on a watch. One Rolex watch. How are rich people real? That's all I want to know. I can't wrap my head around it. Alright, so besides the addresses, they were just like miscellaneous screenshots full of sensitive information. I saw a Google Play gift card, which didn't work. Guess I did try it. I also saw a lot of like password lists. These aren't just normal people. These are like web developers trying to screenshot their users. One of them actually had people's addresses attached to it. One guy tried to reset his password twice, both of which were on Lightshot, which literally makes me wonder if like someone stole his password in between those two times. My guy, maybe that's why you keep getting locked out of your account, because you keep uploading your password to Lightshot. There's also like a weirdly high amount of job applications. Not like job applications, but like profiles on job application websites. Why do you need to screenshot those exactly? I guess they were trying to save them for like later. I wonder if they got the job. Maybe I'll just call and ask, since their phone number is now on the internet. Are you seeing what I'm saying about this being like a secondhand privacy violation? People using Lightshot aren't just violating their own privacy, they're violating everybody's privacy. I also saw what initially just seemed to be one of those screenshots full of usernames that, developers use. But then I realized it's actually for like a gambling website, and it was keeping track of the various users. And I'm pretty sure I know which website it is, because it says Netent right there. Netent, however you say that. And Netent is like a games company. Like they are on the Play Store. What I'm trying to say here is I'm pretty sure Netent just uploaded their own internal document to Lightshot, where I can see that they are straight up rigging their slots games. So that was a fun bit of information. Then again, I could have told you that without seeing Netent's internal documents. Oh yeah, and also there is an entire ID. It wasn't censored at all. This lady's entire ID is on the internet. Lastly, there were just weird things on the website that I didn't want to get into. Like there's a picture of somebody sleeping. That's weird, because it's like, A, you didn't consent to be on Lightshot in the first place, but then B, you're not even awake to know that the picture was taken at all. There were some comments on there that were bordering on criminal, and others which were just like highly inappropriate, like things that you probably wind up on an FBI watch list for. There were pictures of people doing awful things that I don't want to talk about, because this video is supposed to be kind of lighthearted. And of course, I did save the best thing for last. There was $15,000 just sitting in an account that had its username and password publicly available on the website. It was from the private conversations. When I mentioned someone had a cryptocurrency account, basically in this conversation, somebody asks the other person, hey, can you please give me your account info? And that person's like, okay. And then the person asking screenshots it, uploading it to Lightshot, and broadcasting it to the entire internet. Now, thankfully, I don't think anyone saw it between whenever that happened and now, because I I doubt the $15,000 would still be there. But yeah, by a long shot, the $15,000 might be tied with the not safe for work images for being the biggest violation of privacy I saw on the entire website. So my conclusion to all of this, I don't have one. Like when I found out that this was happening and nobody knew, I was like, oh, that's amazing. No, wait, that's terrible, but it's gonna make one heck of a YouTube video. Basically, just ask your friends and family if they use Lightshot, and then stop them from using Lightshot, specifically to capture sensitive data. And if you have been using Lightshot, my recommendation is to just delete all of your photos. A lot of the URLs that we typed up did say that this image was no longer available. So if you delete your photos from Lightshot, I'm assuming it deletes them from the website. But clearly people don't know that, otherwise their addresses, their nudes, their everything wouldn't just be floating around on the internet. And on top of that, I personally believe that Lightshot is somewhat responsible for this. Now, just so we're absolutely clear, it literally says in the terms of service in no uncertain terms, I guess that's why it's called terms of service, that the pictures you take are publicly available via a URL and that anybody can access them, and that Lightshot is not meant to be a secure image hosting service. But like, who reads the terms of service? I personally think it wouldn't hurt just to put like a little info box on the site that says, hey, all of your photos are available for anyone to view at any time. It sounds like a good thing, but if you were going there with the intention of capturing private info, you would kind of be like, oh, okay, maybe I won't screenshot my literal bank account. But yeah, I just had to let everybody know because I've seen a couple people talking about it. I haven't personally seen any YouTube videos about it. Doesn't mean they're not out there. And I didn't even see any like news articles about it. But yeah, that's the story of how there's just thousands upon thousands, if not millions, of sensitive photos and account information 6 letters and numbers away. So thought you might want to know that. Anyway, with the state of modern technology and the way networks work and how advanced hackers are getting, they honestly could get access to any of that stuff even if people didn't put it on Lightshot. So honestly, who cares?